I mean, after 7 years practically in July on this platform, it's no secret that I am frugal. No secret at all whatsoever. But frugal living in a nutshell, I do more of one thing and less of another thing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. How's everybody doing today? Let's jump right into this thing that not only myself, but in general, I have noticed a pattern with other frugal living folks, like minded people like myself. Want to know what the secret is? I am more proactive versus being reactive. What? What does that mean? There are some people like they just can't get past that place of woe is me, bad things happen, I'm in a bad place in my life, I can't seem to dig myself out from under. I'm not saying that there's not its rightful place, and there is a time and place for venting. Absolutely. If bad things happen, you want to get it out of your system, talk about it perhaps. But we don't remain in that place of complaining, because to complain literally is to remain. And to remain in that place gets really, at the end of the day, nowhere fast. And that's not a place for myself. I could only speak for myself specifically in this manner. There are things that have occurred in my life that weren't always the greatest, but instead of sitting around in that like reaction phase forever, ever, and tomorrow, and use it to, make excuses for a lot of things, it's sort of like putting yourself in an analysis paralysis, always going back to the bad thing. Instead of living in that world of being reactionary, I want to be proactive. And one thing great about being frugal is that you live in a big world of choices. It is quite the opposite of what people who do not understand frugal living. If they do not understand that, they're thinking they're being confined and squelched and cornered into one spot. Quite the opposite of that. All right. So let's share some ways that we could be more proactive and less reactive. Number one, I have a written plan. And that written plan is called a budget. Now, I'm not interested in fancy schmancy software or anything like that. I am perfectly okay. In my case, everybody's life is different, everybody's situation is different. I like things nice and simple. Could be because I'm a boomer, a baby boomer. I'm past 65. I'm definitely a boomer, right? So the idea being is I like simplicity. And if it means just a simple ledger with a pen or a notebook and a pen, or if you just want to type it up somewhere and save it, that's fine. Or you use specific software. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's overhead is different. Everybody's style of managing things is different. For me, simplicity works, but consistency works better. Okay. Oh, yeah, I like simplicity, but I also like to keep on top of things. I like to keep on top of things and not have that woe is me attitude. I'm the victim here. Whoa. No, no, no. I like to grab the bull by the horns. Ever hear that old fashioned expression? I like to grab the bull by the horns and take charge. I rather much be proactive than be reactive. And having a spending plan and writing it down, spending plan, budget, doesn't matter what you call it, whatever you like to call it is fine with me. It's a-okay. But writing down the spending plan is of utmost importance. I mean it. Well, you don't necessarily have to write it down with a pen, but I mean indicating it somewhere, your favorite way of keeping records. But by all means, keep that record. Next, I am debt free. I keep my head above the water. I don't want to be in debt. To be in debt is really not a great lifestyle. That's talk about restrictive. Talk about feeling squelched. Being frugal doesn't make me feel squelched. Being in debt would make me feel squelched. No, 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 no. Because 9 out of 10, if you're in debt, you are already, well, I hate to use the word often, but the person is pretty much broke. If they are chronically in debt up to their ears and they're living off of their credit cards till they are maxed out, then what? Then what happens, right? I don't want to live that kind of lifestyle. And I'm quite sure anybody listening to this does not. And kudos for everyone that's in the process of digging out of debt. I don't want you to feel that that's, I mean, I'm not overlooking that. I think that is huge. That is huge. And kudos. But for the people that are on the teetering brink of, or maybe don't even know they're on the road to, think twice about the purchases you make. Constantly ask yourself, is this a want or is this a need? That only you can answer, but it's a good question to always keep in mind. And by the way, that's part of being a proactive person anyway, as opposed to reactive. Like when not you personally, but when anyone, let's say, goes on a mindless shopping spree just to get their mind off their troubles, and then for about an hour they feel great about it, and then the bill comes in, then they're like, what, I spent how much, which to me is baffling to find out after the fact that the person is reacting to this thing. They're like so surprised. Tell me something. Why is that? For me, I have a very difficult time understanding this shock factor. I don't get it. Are people in oblivion when they're exchanging their credit card to buy mindless things? I'm sorry, I don't know. And then comes the bill and they see that number, go, huh? No, 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 thank you. So getting out of debt is very, very important. Listen, the next one, I mean, to me, this is really, I would hope to think this is common sense, but unfortunately, it is not common. Okay. Like Dr. Phil McGraw would always say in the past, there's nothing common about sense. Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Phil. You are 100,000% correct on that one for sure. But how about living on less than what you have coming in? Is that such a like big brainer? I would consider that a no brainer. I cannot live beyond my means. That's just a fact. I refuse to. Let's put it this way. I refuse to. There's a difference between the way, let's say, a frugal person would think as opposed to the devil may care person thinks. I'm thinking, I refuse to live beyond my means. That's just it. I don't, oh, the idea of that and the risk of going into that rabbit hole of DEBT. No, 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 no. So living on less, but that doesn't mean you're living a boring existing life. Life is what you make of it. Okay. I'm sorry. And no matter what level of income you're coming in, whatever make the best, make happiness. Happiness is up to the individual. We live in a world of choices. Some people could be happy taking a walk near the shore and inhaling the air and the sea and walking on the sand. And then somebody else will turn around and say, huh, I don't want to go on that windy old, dusty old beach and get sand in my shoes. You see how the two people think differently, contrasting difference of the same scenario. But it still is up to the individual, no matter what your income level. Here's a problem that I believe a lot of people have. They reserve being happy for one day. Well, when I make my $1 million, then I'll be happy. Okay. No, what happens in all the time between now and your $1 million? I'm sorry, I'm going to enjoy the ride and not only worry about the destination. That's what we need to do. Enjoy the ride. Again, what does that go back to? Being proactive and not reactive, sitting on our duff going, woe is me. Oh, poor me. All right. And last but not least, have a generous heart, have a generous spirit, okay? Be generous in your ways, whether it's with your time, volunteering your time, being a better listener instead of a great talker, okay? I do like to talk. That's what I do, okay? But I also take it seriously, the stuff that I, listen to and the stuff that I read. I could tell from certain people's comments, certain things. I could tell because people are giving themselves away in their, little bits and pieces, the nanosecond of the, you know, time that I could read their stuff, and I say to myself, okay, this works or whatever, and I say to myself, it's a better place to have wonderful people in the world, but we need to be more generous. Perhaps it's in the form of time, effort, energy, consideration, being a great listener. And sometimes it is also a monetary way of showing for those that can do that, for those that can do that. But I also believe even people who are trying to get themselves a little better, maybe just figuring out ways that they could always be a monetary giver as well in their own faith ways and all this and all that. That, of course, is up to you. But generosity in general in life is very, very important. It's a very important step. All right, so being proactive sure beats being reactive, especially when the reactive is in a negative way. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your time. I hope that you wake up in the morning, put on this video, kick back for a few minutes with your first cup of coffee or whenever you have a chance throughout the day, and it's great talking about important subjects. Don't forget to comment. Let me know how you feel about this topic. And a very important, generous thing you could do if you got value from this video or any of my videos, don't forget to click like, and keep in mind that this show uploads 365 days of the year, as long as I'm around to make them, 365 days of the year at 5 a.m. Does it mean you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to put it on? No, it means it is available from 5 o'clock in the morning on. So if you don't get your coffee till 8 a.m. and you'd like to kick back and put this on, you could play this in the background while you're making your toast, buttering your bread, and sitting down to your coffee. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Thank you.